Okay, so in this video, we are going to talk about how to create a bowl out of clay. So the first thing that we're going to need is our bowl templates. These are made out of paper, they're nice and biodegradable. We'll pull these out when we're all done. We'll reuse these. So you guys are going to actually have to write your name somewhere inside here, and then you're going to flip it over like this. You're then going to get a slab of clay. Slab is just a thin pancake. And you are going to try to center it as best you can over your lovely bowl. And then we're gonna slowly press down. So start going around the center where you have this base where the clay actually touches the bowl. And then you're gonna kind of just push gently, going all the way around, a little bit at a time. Nice light pressure, you don't wanna rip through your slab. And you're slowly going to stretch and shape the clay to this bowl shape that we have here. Eventually you can start like cupping your hands to get it to shape to that bowl. Something like this. So when you look at it, it's nice and bowl shaped. We now need to cut it into a circle. So you're going to take one of your sharp tools. I'm currently at table 5, which is blue, so I have my blue sharp tools over here. And you'll take and you're going to cut as close to a circle as you can, going around your whole bowl. Then you're going to take this extra clay off. We're going to wad it up because we're going to use it for the next step. At this point, you're going to kind of smooth it out one more time. If you cut too far on one side, try to stretch it so it fills in. Like I cut a little sharply over here. And then I want you to use your finger to smooth off this edge right here so that it softens and there's not like a harsh line there. You can go back and retrim things if you need to. This is the time to get it as close to the shape that you'd like. All right, and then at this point, we actually are supposed to leave it overnight so it gets used to being in this shape and dries. Okay, so the next step is going to be to roll out a coil to make a base on here. So we need to take the extra clay that we left inside of our bowl yesterday. We're gonna take, you probably don't even need this whole thing, maybe about half of this amount. And you're gonna kind of roll it between your hands to make it more of a tube-like instead of a sphere shape. And then either on your tabletop, if you're comfortable doing that, or you can push this table cover off to the side. You're going to take, putting your hands together like this. You want to have your hand curved back a little bit like this, because this is going to be like our roller basically to roll out this clay. You're going to start by going front and back. You're not rolling the whole hand, you're just doing half your hand. If you don't have as much control of these fingers as you'd like, you can use the palm. And you're slowly going to rock it back and forth, and as you rock it back and forth, you're also going to start rolling it out. So as you go up and down, you're also going out. You can start spreading your fingers out as the tube gets longer, and you want it to be approximately as wide as like your pinky is here. So you can see we're going to take this little coil that we just made, and you're going to round it around. If you have extra, just pinch it off, we don't need it. And you're going to make a nice little foot or a little stand so that when we take it out of the paper bowl, it has something to sit on. Now, in order to connect this, we have to make some score marks. So score marks can be made with your sharp tool, and all you need to do is just with either end, you can use the pointed side or the blade side. You're just making a bunch of little scratch marks. You're going to go all the way around your bowl. And then you have to go all the way around the ring of the coil you just made as well. Both sides have to have scratch marks. We use these like teeth on a zipper to interlock our clay, otherwise your project's going to try to fall apart. Okay, now that I have my score marks, I need to add my glue. Now my glue is this lovely brown bucket right here. It's actually slip, it's liquid clay. You can either stick your finger in here or you can use one of the slip sticks that we have on the cart. It's just a popsicle stick. You're going to want to mix it a little bit first. Now, when you're mixing this all up, you do not need to stick your whole hand in this bucket. one little finger, and then I can wipe it on the tablecloth when I'm done. And that way I can just take a little pat, 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 and I'm not making a giant swampy mess all over my table and all over myself, and I don't have to go wash my hands 20 times today. Okay? So slip on one side of it, I'm gonna flip it over, and then I need to really squeeze these together. You can even pick up the bowl, put your hand inside here, so that you're really squeezing those teeth marked together to make it really interlock. Okay? And then you're gonna wanna find a blending tool. You want one with a smooth edge. You don't want one of these that has like this jagged edge up here. That's just going to scrape into your clay. So you want to try to find one of the smooth edge blending tools. And you're just going to kind of drag around where you have that seam so that it disappears. So it looks like it was always one solid piece of clay. You can't tell that you just put two different pieces together. So just lightly drag around all the way around on the outside. And then repeat the same steps on the inside. Okay, and that should ensure that your foot does not fall off as it dries, so it would stand just like that. Before we put this away, we need to make sure that we write our name on here. So inside here with the sharp point of your sharp tool, go ahead and write your name and also your period number. So name, period number on the bottom. You can then carefully peel out this paper bowl. It should pop out nicely, especially if it's had a little bit of chance to dry. And now you have your lovely clay bowl. You're gonna wanna take, again, your finger, maybe a little bit of slip on your finger, and just smooth out this edge so it's not something sharp later that can cut us after it's been fired, because it's gonna get a little bit sharper and more glass-like after it's been put in the kiln for a bisque firing. And now the last step of our project is actually to add designs to this. So our project, we're gonna take these lovely little drawing tools here. They have little drawing implements on either end. And we are gonna draw at least 10 of our Keith Haring figures that we practiced before into the shape. They can be on the inside, they can be on the outside, they can be large, some can be small, some can be large and small. It's entirely up to you how you put your figures on here, but again, you have to use at least 10 of the figures that you planned out. And that's it. Then we leave our bowl out to dry and we'll be ready to paint it.